Hello everyone, welcome in CRM session. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ritesh and you can follow me on my Twitter handle. You can connect me on my LinkedIn and my Trailblazer accounts. I'm 12x Salesforce certified professional and I'm certified system architect, certified application architect. I'm in Salesforce ecosystem for more than 10 years, and during this tenure, I have worked on Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, I have worked on the Marketing Cloud, Revenue Cloud, Experience Cloud, and I also worked on CRM Analytics. So today I'm going to talk about the CRM Analytics introduction, and why we need to use the CRM Analytics, why not the reporting, and apart from that, the CRM Analytics brand journey, and what are the basic components of the CRM analytics. And I'm also going to tell you about hierarchy, industry-specific problem, where how we can solve that hierarchy and hierarchical aggregations. Hierarchy is means like we have account, parent account, child accounts, and we have a rules, multiple level of rules, or territories, multiple level of territories, and how to resolve that. And apart from that, how to give that visual way of hierarchical representation inside our analytics. So there is a way which Salesforce has launched, and that is we can use the custom LWC components inside the CRM analytics. So let's jump into an introduction. So as a part of that introduction, okay, why we need analytics? Analytics is means like we have a data around all the over the place, but when we start putting the data together in such a manner so that people can take the decision, that is called analytics. Okay, analytics life cycle has started. I'm going to tell you about like from the descriptive is means what what is happening when we are going to see, okay, what is my revenue for the year, for the monthly. So that is called descriptive. And when we start looking at why my revenue is this much, or why my revenue was down and why my revenue is up in this month, so that is called diagnostic. That is called why. So what and then why. When we start finding the reasoning, and when we start making that, okay, what is going to happen? Okay, what my revenue is going to happen in the month of December. So that is called predictive analytics. And on the top of that, we have a prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics means when we start telling about, okay, what I need to follow or what I need to perform, what are the steps I need to take in order to achieve my revenue, target revenues. So that is called prescriptive. When we start getting the recommendation or suggestions in order to achieve my targets. So that is called prescriptive analytics. And this is also called AI maturity model. So what are the different Salesforce brand journey from when the Salesforce has CRM Analytics has started? CRM Analytics has started from 2014. Salesforce has launched as a web analytics, and then after after that it become a IC analytics, and after Tableau acquisition it becomes a CRM Tableau, and then after that is got changed renamed as a CRM Analytics. And however, the Salesforce is still selling under the product that they are different product under the Tableau umbrella. One is CRM Analytics and the Tableau Embedded Analytics. This is for like Salesforce license users or without Salesforce license users. This is for the Salesforce on the platform. This is our revenue intelligence is industry specific solutions, and this is on the platform. And I'm going to talk about more about the CRM analytics. So let's begin with why we need a CRM analytics. Why not the reporting? So first of all, the reporting is operational data. This plain operational data is only for the Salesforce, local Salesforce data we can use as a part of the reporting, where CRM Analytics is providing a more intelligence. And on the platform, off the platform, from the external sources, we can bring any data inside the CRM Analytics. And plus, this is action oriented and more features, is providing a more different dimension inside that data. where we can perform like modeling, we can have that different kind of actions, more intelligence ways to performing the analytics. So let's see what are the different components are available. So start from the data sets. In the data set is a collections of data, collections of information which are stored inside that particular data sets. Okay, that data set can be a raw data set can be enriched information. How we are making enriched information? Using the recipe. Recipe is another tool in CRM Analytics, Salesforce CRM Analytics. That is like providing a series of steps where we can join two different data sets, more than two, one or two or three, or that depend upon. And then we can perform the transformation on the top of that. We can have our own logic. We can give that more valuable input. And we can make that enriched data set, which we can use inside our dashboard. So since this is CRM Analytics session, let me switch into a Salesforce screen so that I can share that live demo. Let me bring Salesforce screen. So if you have a Salesforce license, so go to app. In app, you can see Analytics Studio. And as a part of the Analytics Studio, we can see that we have apps. Apps means to say app is a collections. It's a collections of dashboard, components, reports, lens, models. So this is a placeholder where we can keep that related information together. Then I'm going to talk about data manager. So in the data managers, it provides a connectors, different kind of connectors, where we can connect to a different environment. So the moment I went to data manager, you can see the option connections. In the connections, if you go, we can see that by default, it provides an option to connect a local Salesforce local environment. So we can select the objects. What are the objects we wanted to bring? Those objects is going to call inside the Salesforce, inside the analytics as a data sets. So we can exclude the new objects which we wanted to bring the local Salesforce org. We can also connect to external Salesforce org. So Salesforce is providing a different kind of connection. So you can see in the new connections, there are multiple connectors, ready available connectors are available. From that, we can bring the data from the external source. So you can see from the external different Salesforce org, we can bring the data from the Marketing Cloud org, we can bring the data. We can also bring from the Google SQL, BigQueries, and Microsoft Azure SQL. We can also bring the data from the Snowflake. So there are various different options are available. Tableau online connectors is also there. So there are different. You can see that there are different connectors are available. SAP also we can bring the data from this place. Okay. Apart from that, we can also bring the data from flat file. So how to bring the from the flat file? Click on the new data sets and use upload file. So let me bring the data from, I have a CSV already created. This is hierarchical. Hierarchical means this is for my territory. I created some simple data so I can show you. So let me select this hierarchy where I have a territory hierarchy. So let me give this now. Okay. Let me give as a part of the demo app and let me select the new. So as you can see that, okay, I have a territory and the different territories information based on my record ID and the parent ID. So this is my top level territory with root name null. Either we can have a null as well as. And then we have the record for T01 is reporting to executive 001. Territory T02 is reporting to T01. T03 is reporting to T01. T04, T02, like vice versa. Okay. So you can see that we have n number of hierarchies. And this is only for a territory information. So let me bring this data. And this is going to become my new one of the data set. So this is only the territory information where I have a data, and this is going to be a part of the data set. Now I can see that I got a new data set. This is my new data set. Okay, now I can bring my another data set that is called revenue information. My territory revenue is stored inside another information that is like this one, opti. So where I have my territory and their revenue, TR and revenue. So this is my TR and revenue information, territory and revenue information. And let me tag with my app. As I mentioned, app is a collection of information. So my this new data set is going to be a part of my new app, this demo app. So let me keep this, bring this data. So as you can see, now I have a information, the revenue information along with the opportunity, but who owns this territory owns. So you can see that, okay, this territory is owning these revenues. So in this way, we can bring the data from the different external source. So in the similar way, I have another data set, I have another flat file, sales amount, let me bring. And let me tag with my demo app. So as of now, I got my data from territory, I got my data from the revenue. Okay, then how to use this different data inside the dashboard? So we got a data set. Okay, let me see how we can use inside our data sets, inside our dashboard. So first, let's see, this is my Explore. And I'm also going to talk about that, how to make the dynamic design. And plus, apart from that dynamic design, we have a dynamic data. So there are two different things which I'm going to tell you. So as you can see that, okay, we have a data. Now we can use this in a different dimension. Okay, let me show you how I'm going to bring this as a part of my different dashboard. So let me open the dashboard. We can create a new dashboard as well as. Let me keep this new panel. Let me bring chart. From where I'm going to bring this chart? From my dataset, V1 sales amount, which I just now opted. We can select the columns. Different columns. Then apart from that, you can see on this place, we have an option. If we want, we can use SQL language, and using the SQL, this is automatic. You can see SQL is got generated. And we can also we can write our own SQL in order to bring the data from the different data sets. We can use this SQL to bring the data from different SQL, or we can perform the filter as well as there are various, like if we can use a while operators, we can also use the case conditions to perform the other tasks, manipulations, transformations. And the similar way, we can also perform the same transformation inside the recipe. Okay, so as you can see that, okay, we got this data, and I've shown you the SQL as well as SQL is structured analytical query language. And if you go inside, you can see the dynamic design. Means we can perform the dynamic designs. We can have a conditional coloring. We can select a different kind of the chart. You can see that, okay, there are different kind of charts are available, which as per the need, business need, we can opt and we can use. Okay, so these are here you can see that we have a different kind of chart. We have a Sankey, we have a waterfall, different maps available, grids data, different kind of bar lines, date and time. There are different category of. This is called dynamic design. And this we can also use, and we can show you that. Okay, just let me use this formatting. First, this is my, let me use formatting. And here you can see that, okay, we got a formatting. We can use this X and Y. We can provide that legend. We can also have a conditional formatting. We can also provide a conditional formatting based on the measurements. Okay, so there are different kind of designs which we can opt, and we can perform the different kind of operations as a part of this. Now let me go. So this is called dynamic design. After dynamic design, I'm going to tell you how we can perform the interactions. So I'm going to show you that how we can perform the different kind of interactions. Okay, let me bring this data once again. That's it. Okay, so this is my data, and I can also perform the dynamic data means by applying the filters based on different filters we can. So let me show you the filter. Banking. So you can see that now I can see only the banking data based on my filter, right? So let me give this rename as a banking. And let me represent this as a banking. So this is banking, and since it's a current page, so let me make it as a different color so that we know that, okay, this is got selected. So I'm just making as a yes. So now I'm telling you that how to interact, how to move from the one page, navigate from the one page to another page. So as you can see, if I'm in this page, there's no way I can navigate. I can see the banking, okay? And I wanted to move into another page, which I'm going to create for technology. So this is my new page for technology. Okay, so inside that, I'm going to keep, again, the chart, same data, but this time I'm going to apply the filter based on technology data only. I'm going to apply filter for technology, right? So I applied the filter on technology. Let me save this. So now I have a technology. So let me, in the similar way, let me bring, and let me keep this as a technology. And in the similar way, let me also keep this color scheme as current page. So let me keep that as a gray. That means a indicator for current page. And let me also bring new level for banking so that I can provide a way to move into a banking screen. And this is how, let me keep this banking. Let me provide a different style so that we know we need to navigate from this place. Okay, so I created a one more link. Okay, but how to navigate? So this is the way you can see the interactions. Click on interactions, click action, what action I wanted to navigate to, page layout, where, which page, banking. Let's see. Let me save this first. And let's go preview. So see, nothing is happening, but the moment I'm going to click on the banking, you can see I move into bank. In the similar way, from the banking, again, I need to move back to technology. So let me give this name, caption, right? Let me provide the same formatting so that for the user, it's a seamless experience. Save this. This is not working. Let me see. I did not provide the interactions. So I need to add the interactions first. Page layout, which page layout? Technology. Apply, save. So this is how we can provide the different interactions. So there are multiple ways of interacting the data or moving from the one page to another page. So as you can see, now I move into a technology. Now I move into back again, banking. So this is one way. Another way is we can also provide the data in the same place instead of switching into different pages. Different pages is required when you have a different kind of data you wanted to switch. Okay, but if you have the same data sets, there is no point to moving into keeping it in two different pages. We can use the same page and we can switch inside. Okay, so that is also called dynamic way of creating a filter. Right now we kept that filter as a static. So let me create new static data display and let me add the values, value, and let me write banking. Let me also write banking, technology. So I'm creating a static data for my making a dynamic filters. Right. So as you can see that I've created a banking and technology, but how to use that in my so that I can make my filter as a dynamic. We can also write or we can use this advanced editor. Just let me see what name I've given to this static. We can give the switch. Okay, let me use advanced editor. And what I'm going to perform, I'm going to perform on selections. Selections of what? My static data. So where is switch, which I created? This is the switch, right? On select. On select of my cell 0 and the value. So let me copy this and I'm going to use in my SQL. We can also use inside JSON. Okay, we can also use on this place, but I'm going to, this is the place if we are going to perform anything, we cannot modify by UI. But if we are going to use inside the SQL, we can modify. So the moment we are going to change anything manually inside the JSON, is everything is going to be logged. So it means anything we want to perform, we need to use a JSON. But this is the way we can modify and we can always use. And this is used only inside a JSON, but in SQL we don't need this. So let me use this now and verify. Run query. Let's see, it's going to be successful. It should be. Wow. Let's see. So as you can see, right now there's no data, but I'm going to click on the banking. It's going to come banking. Technology, technology. So this is a way we can use the dynamic filtering, dynamic data based on the different conditions. We can also use this and set the default values. Single selections required. So you can see the moment I use single selection required, automatic the default value is got selected and we can see that some data is coming. Earlier it was none of the data. The blank was there. So now default selection is banking. So that's the reason banking data is coming. So as of now, I have shown you that how we can make it a dynamic, how we can manipulate the SQL, and I can show you the SQL format as well as query mode. So you can see that query, this is the data load, means we are loading from this data set, then I'm applying a filter, then I'm doing a query, and for each, we are showing the, for each is mean what data we wanted to show. Okay, then the same order by limit, if you want to keep the limit, then you can. And in that, we have an option to provide the joins and the different kind of case conditions also we can use inside. So this is how I have shown you the dynamic display, dynamic design, dynamic data. So now I'm going to come into another way, recipe. In the recipe, how we can manipulate, how we can transform the data, how we can enrich the data. So let's move into a recipe. Data manager. Inside the data manager, we get an option for like I've shown you the connectors where we can connect from the different data set or different from the external or from the external environment. We can bring the data inside the CRM analytics. We can also bring the data from the flat file, and we can also bring the data from using the different data set. We can enrich our data, or we can perform business requirement. We can perform business related transformations. Okay, so as you can see that, okay, we have a different kind of data, and plus you can see that, okay, we have a source information, it's from the local, this is from the flat file. So there are different sources also available, okay, from where we are bringing the data. We can bring the data account opportunity, we can have a join here, okay. So right now I have used two different data. So first let me bring my hierarchy and opportunity revenue. Hierarchy, territory, and the revenue. So tier and either we can use this is my territory, territory. Come on. And let me bring this. This is demo. This is not required, incorrect one. Let me bring my another one where I have revenue information. That is my hierarchical opportunity. Let me bring this. Yes. I'm going to join this territory with my revenue. Opportunities, join. Okay. So how I'm going to join? You can see that, okay, we have two different fields in the opportunity. I have that owner information, and in the territory, I have record ID. Okay, so I'm joining an opportunity with my territory. Okay, and in the similar way, if we have the relationship based on the more than one keys, we can also use this. We can add on keys like composite key. So we can keep adding the relationship, and it's going to perform the composite key based on the two different keys or more than one keys. And plus, you can also see that, okay, we have an option what kind of join we want to perform on this. We have a lookup, left join, right join, inner join, outer join, cross join. Okay, let's keep this simple. Lookup join, and I can perform the transformation. So you can see that, okay, I have transformations. In this transformation, I can perform the custom formula. I can perform the trim, uppercase, lowercase, substring, and there are different kind of operations which we can perform on this. The custom formula, as you can see that we have a different kind of functions which we can perform on our columns. And most interesting, I'm going to show you how we can also perform the different kind of operations. Okay, we can also perform my case conditions inside. So like I can show you case. So this is a case, and which column I need to use. What is in my account type chain retains. Okay, so account type, let me keep this conditions. Condition is, then output is going to be wholesale. In the similar way, I can provide retail. Retail. Either we can, retail is going to recognize by this, chain is recognized by C, and else everything is going to be a part of everything is going to be part of fall in others. Okay, so what kind of output is this? Is text. What is the name of the column I wanted to give? I can provide that. Category. So I have provided a name. Okay, if there is something wrong in this formula, your formula has been filled, does not exist. Let me see what is the issue in this. Oops. I used double quotes. We need to use single quotes, and value should be in double quotes, I believe. Let me change and verify. This is also single quotes. Yes. So as you can see that the moment I need to use a single quotes to perform this operation. Okay, otherwise it's recognizing as a field. This is done. The moment I am done with this, you can see I got a new field is got created and with the appropriate values. So this is how we can use a transformation. We can perform the different kind of operations in the transformation. And now we can save our recipe. V1 demo, and rich recipe. We need to give that appropriate name. Okay. Let me save this now. So as you can see that I have a relationship, I've established a relationship, I created a transformation, and for this transformation, I can give this is for case condition for category. Okay. And now we can create a new output. The data set is new and list data. Okay, plus I should also provide the app name. Okay, so now you can see that we got a new data set. Okay, the data set name is new. We can give that appropriate label name as well as this output. So this is how we have performed the transformation in the recipe. In the recipe, we can also use similar way from the different source like account, user object, and we can bring the data from the different sources. So you can see that we have account, we have a case, we have all the different objects we can join together. Okay, now let me talk about the industry specific problem. Like we have a hierarchy, which I wanted to talk about you. I have covered a dynamic design, dynamic data, and plus SQL, different conditions. I am going to talk about the hierarchy and hierarchical aggregation. So like we have a hierarchy information. Okay, we have data in such a manner where this lays there in a chain format, okay, from the top to bottom, and plus parent and child kind of relationship. So how to show this in a graphical way inside the Salesforce, okay, and plus how we are going to perform. We know that okay, which one is reporting to under which. So recipe provides a transformation. Recipe provides a transformation that is called flatten. In recipe, we have a transformation that is called flatten. So the moment I'm going to use a flatten is going to create a two field. One is path and another is value. And let me provide the ID, which ID we wanted to use, record ID. And what is the parent column name? This is include the column values. And so as I mentioned, is going to create in two different fields. One is node and another is path. So you can see that in the path is going to see that, okay, where I am in this node. Is going to keep this information where I am in this node because T30 is represented by, is under the T03. So that's the reason it's coming like this. If you are going to see T03 is a part under T01. So if we have a multiple node is going to come like a multiple places. This path is going to be. But in the preview, you might be not able to see the N level, but in the backend, it's going to keep the data in the similar format. In the similar way, node is going to process that all the data, all the related records in a comma separated values. So this we can perform a use inside the in operators or any other ways so to identify okay where I am in this node. So this is the flatten pattern. Using a flatten pattern, we are able to make out hierarchical relationship. But how to use this inside a dashboard? I'm going to use this output. So let me save this first. And let's see whether it's a part of this new column is created. So you can see we have a new columns, path and nodes, and I'm going to save and run. So the moment is going to save and run, after running, we are going to get a new data set where you can see that, okay, it's got successful ran and then new data set is got created. We can see inside the monitor in jobs monitor. So you can see that my job is running and it's going to pull the data. So the moment is going to finish this job successfully, we are going to get another data set, okay, which we can start using inside our dashboard. Like we have a list, let me use list, and let's see whether it's got completed or not. It's running, it's going to, you can see it's a recipe is preparing away. Few more seconds and this is going to be finished. Done. Let's see. Now it's going, should be available in our dashboard. New analyst data. Let me bind with my list. Which one I wanted to use? I can use record ID or I can use the path or values. So let's see one by one. I'm going to use path or you wanted me to use nodes. Let's see. So you can see that now I have a data. You can see EX001. It's been 17. This total 17 records are under this territory. Under the T01, we have a total 15 territories. Under T02, we have a 13 territories. Under T03, we have a 2 territories. T04, we have 10 territories. So in the similar way, we are able to see the count. But this is not making me any sense. This means we are not able to correlate. Okay, which territory falls under which territory, okay, who is the parent. So how to showcase that inside, how we can like it for the management, how they are going to verify that, okay, which one is falling under which. So there should be a way, okay. So in CRM analytics by default out of the box there is no way we can achieve, we can show that visual representation. So there is another way that Salesforce has enabled provided recently, that is called LWC components. And that LWC components, I'm going to show you, we can bring that LWC components inside a CRM analytics. Means we can use the custom LWC components inside the CRM analytics. How to? Let me bring this. Just give me 1 minute. So as you can see, this is the URL where Salesforce is providing a way how we can use LWC components in a CRM analytics dashboard. Instructions are given here. You can see they have also given the example for the hello world. And as a part of this LWC components, Salesforce has provided a way means we can create a custom properties, and using this custom properties, we can define the data from the CRM analytics, and this custom properties we can use inside the our JS, inside our JS. So as you can see, we have created a new title. This title we are going to feed from the dashboard, and in the JS file, we are using as a global variables properties we can use inside. Okay, so I will show you that how we can. So this is the URL you can refer for how to use the LWC components. I'm going to show you one of the components. Let me open my VS Code, Visual Studio, and showcase you. So I'm going to use LWC tree components for this purpose. So this is a hierarchy JS. This is a LWC components. And inside, as you can see that I'm using a lightning tree component, LWC component out of the box. And this is my LWC, hierarchy is my LWC components. And inside you can see I have a meta XML. In the meta XML, I've created the number of properties, 4 different properties. One is for the record ID, another is for the parent to identify which parent, another is label. Okay, which label we wanted to, what we wanted to show in the tree. And then we need to also specify the root node. Root node is means to identify that, okay, from where we are going to begin, the top level hierarchy, that values. So, and then you can see in the HTML, I'm using like this, and this is my JS file. So you can see that I have created a similar kind of global APIs parameter. ID column, parent columns, root node. Okay, and once you are done with your LWC components, you can upload into a Arc. And the moment this is uploaded inside the Arc, you can go to your CRM dashboard. And use this component. You can see that Lightning components are there. And the moment it's going to be upload, you can see that, okay, we have a different components. I need to opt my hierarchy. Let's see, this is my LWC components. And to use that in a VS Code, we also need to use a plugin, that LWC components CRM Analytics plugin. After that, we can select the record ID. And we should be able to see these different attributes. Oops, there are different attributes, but parents is not available. Why? We need to include in our data sets. Means that should be a part of the our SQL, those fields. Then only it's going to be visible. So either we can use directly from this place, or we can add in a SQL query. If I'm going to add from this place, my parent, come on, display name, and root node. Let me show with root node. Okay, so there is no root node. We have record ID, parent IDs, same different. And did I include what I wanted to show, display name? Right. So let me go back into properties, components, parent ID, display name. In the root node, what should I write? As I mentioned, I need to write at my top level hierarchy, root node, how to identify that. So if you can see, let me open the data first. What is my root node? So let me identify from my data, what is my root node? So let's see. In this data, you can see I have a record, I have a parent ID. So this is a record, parent ID is a none. T01, this is a parent ID. So it means my root node is value is should be a none. None or null, whatever we want, we can keep, and we need to define right now because since I mentioned the none, so let me use that same as is. That's it. And this should be a part of my. Now after this is going to take little while, and after we should be able to see that complete trace structure here. Let's see. If we are lucky, it should come immediately, otherwise it takes a while. This is the first time only, one time is going to take time. After that, it's going to come immediately. So as you can see that we are going to see the tree structure like this. We can also make the LWC component for dropdown so that it should not occupy that much of space. It should be a dropdown kind of behavior. So this is up to us. We can customize and we can make whatever we want. Okay. So as you can see that, okay, I have created a navigation as well as on click of this, I'm showing the data. But here you can see we are on the click of T1, we are able to show the data T2 and T3 is coming. But this is individual contribution for T3 and the T2. It's not showing that my complete hierarchical aggregation. This means for how many the T2 people are, so many people are reporting to. This is individual for T2, is coming T4, coming for T3 is a parent, T30. Individual roll-up is coming, only individuals, but not as a hierarchical aggregation. So how to implement a hierarchical aggregation, that is also I'm going to show. Okay, so right now we can also use this kind of interactions. This is providing another way. We can either use a socle. In the socle, we can implement the filters, or we can also create a connection data source. So there are multiple ways, approaches we can use. In query mode, socle, SQL, we can apply the filters. So as you can see on this page, I applied the filter in the multi-field values. If this record exists anywhere, I wanted to show that, right? So we can also apply the interactions based on the connections. So you can see that, okay, we can create the connections. We can provide the first data source, second data source, and we can also provide the connections. So automatic, we don't need to write any SQL queries. This automatic is going to work. So you can see that, okay, I have already created one multi-field based on the record ID, based on the second data source given and provided the field. So this is by default without any coding. Just click and done. Okay. So as of now, we are able to solve the issue for how to show in the hierarchical representation and plus how to provide the interactions. But how to resolve the hierarchical aggregation? So how to resolve the hierarchical aggregations? So that we can resolve using the two-steps process inside the recipe. So let me show you that. Let me open my recipe and then I'm going to show you. This is my recipe. Let me add it. So in recipe, it provides a way where we can perform the aggregation. So as I mentioned, two-step process, this means first we need to have the individual sums, and then after we need to have a hierarchical aggregation. So first individual team sum, how we are going to, okay, we are going to have a sum of amount Done. Okay, based on which group? Honor ID. Right? So we got a sum of individuals. So now I got a sum of individuals, but now I need to perform based on hierarchical aggregation. Okay, so it means I need to perform the, and but you can see that okay, in this place I'm getting only my data. Okay, two columns, but how I'm going to identify the hierarchical? So that is also we need to provide the manipulations. We can also, so this is the one I'm going to show you very quickly. Okay, we can use any of the field group by. So just I want to show you that. Okay, in both cases the result is same. The same individual sum. And once this is done, I need to, since it's two columns, so I need to bring the another data where I can identify the hierarchical. So I'm going to provide the join for my transformation. The transformation name, I should keep the appropriate name so I know this is what. Flatten. So I just kept the appropriate name, flatten. And now I'm going to provide a join again from my flatten. Okay. Based on honor ID and in the flatten, we have a record ID. So based on the honor ID and the flatten record IDs, we are going to get a data. Okay. So the moment we got the other data, now we can perform the aggregation again. And this time we are going to use hierarchical aggregation. First sum of amount, and then I'm going to provide this. Okay, what is the relationship? Means row ID and the parent ID. Okay, so as you can see, now we got the hierarchical aggregations data. So this is the way we can use for hierarchical aggregation. And now I'm going to use this. Just give me 1 minute, please. So I use my sum of amount, and I've also enabled the hierarchical aggregation and provided my record ID, parent record IDs, apply this system. And we can also give this appropriate name, otherwise it's going to be, this is hierarchical aggregations based on, as you can see, hierarchical aggregation. So I can use this as a hierarchical. Okay. And you can, on this place also, you can see that, okay, we got only the two columns. Now we need to bring all other columns as well as in order to identify. Again, same, I'm going to perform the join with my flatten. And once I provided the join, this means I got my other data. Right. And now I can create it. So this is the record ID, but what basis is going to be a record ID, and in this place it should be, okay. Yes. So we got the data and apply. And now I can perform the output. Hierarchical aggregation V9. So I have given the appropriate name for my data set. And for output also, I can keep the same so that it's going to be easy to identify. And plus which app is going to be this one. So this is how we can apply that hierarchy and hierarchical aggregation. Okay. So let me save this. Now, since we don't have that column, let me delete and save and run. So as I mentioned, two-step process, first individual sum, and then after we need to have the hierarchical sum. So this is how we are able to achieve that hierarchical aggregation. And once, as I mentioned, that once this is going to be run, we are going to get a new data set that is going to be a hierarchical aggregation V9. This is going to take a while. So let me show you my dashboard where I already have that defined. And hierarchical aggregations. So as you can see that the moment I click on the T2, it's showing the T4 along with the hierarchical aggregation. It's showing that individual T4 and plus all the team members who are reporting as a part of T4. So it's not coming only for the T4, it's coming for some of T10, T6, T5, T4. It's a roll up. In the similar way, if I'm going to click on the T3, it's going to show that for T30 and T3. So it's an individual T sum of T30 and plus their team, T30 and T32. Okay, so So as you can see that, okay, we are able to see that hierarchical aggregation. So what are the topics we have covered as of now? We have covered the introduction, we have covered why we need to use CRM analytics, what is the purpose, okay, how we can implement a hierarchy and hierarchical aggregation, plus how to use LWC components. And also I have shown you the different interactions. Okay, so as you can see that, okay, we can navigate from the one place to another place. This is a page navigation, which I have shown you in my, like we can bring that anything. And then after we have interactions on the click, we can define that, okay, how to move, navigate. So I've shown you the different interactions, how to navigate from the one place to another place, how to apply the filters. That's it for today's session. Thank you. I appreciate. Thanks for watching this session. You can, if you have any queries, you can send me that in my Twitter account. Thank you again, once again, for watching this session. Thank you.